Hello everybody, I'm Bolo. Today I am at Ashbury Coffee House and I'm going to be interviewing these guys. Where we going to go?
To a magical place, somewhere we've never been.
Some place where spells occur, where weird things happen.
Oh yeah.
And let's get to know these guys real quick. Just start off. What's your name?
We are Sattva Dog, S-A-T-T-V-A Dog. I'm Jimmy.
And you are?
I'm Christian.
And let's get to this magical place. We are in the whimsical, magical area of some card shop over there that I do not know the name of. But let's get into this interview. Tell me about you guys. Tell me about you guys' style of music, why you guys did your band. Tell me all that jazz.
So we are Sattva Dog. We are a psych punk two-piece band out of the Chicagoland area. And we just like to play music that is very energetic. Like to make weird music.
Yeah.
How long have y'all been making weird music?
At Sattva Dogs for about a year. I think a year and a half, something like that. But we've been playing together since we met, I think. So that's been it's been 6 years. Yeah.
That's what's up. And how did you guys come up with that name?
It came from a dream.
Yeah, I can explain.
Yeah,
So I had a dream in which I think I had three dogs that were presented to me in this dream, and what ended up happening was, I think in the first vision I had this dog that was beautiful. It was a mix of every awesome breed ever. I don't know what awesome breeds are, but basically it was a super golden retriever, and it was I loved it. I wanted everything to do with it. I wanted this dog in the dream. And then I switched to another phase in this dream where it was just my brown dog that I used to have, Coco, and he was cool. I loved him, but I was I could give her take this, it is what it is. If I have this dog, I loved him, but And then I went to the last dog that I encountered in this dream, and it was it was slick black oily fur, and it had a human face that was gray and looked disturbed. And then I had a conversation with Jimmy here the next day about the dream, and he said it's kind of there's this thing in Hinduism, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. I think Tamas is bad work, Rajas is neutral work, which bad work generates negative karma, neutral work generates karma in general, and then Sattvic work generates good karma. And then I was Jimmy said I remember Jimmy said the Sattva Dog.
It's a Sattva Dog.
And then I was that's my band name, and I was going to use that for a solo project. And then after a while, I was this makes no fucking sense. Why don't we just use this for the band we're in? And that's how Sattva Dog became our name. A fucking wild dream.
That's fucking wicked. A question I have about the whole Buddhism stuff. Are you a fan of any other philosophies or belief systems? What do you think about Taoism and Stoicism? Those are some of my two favorites. Actually, what do you think about nihilism? That's a crazy one.
So nihilism is
It's a bummer.
It's a bit of a bummer. I think the way people think about nihilism is a bit of a bummer, where it's just everything's fucked. We're all fucked. Everything sucks.
It's gonna end. So why?
It's gonna end. Why would we do it? I know Nietzsche wasn't actually really about that. He's the father of nihilism and this and that and the other. He was all about finding meaning in the meaningless, kind of an absurdist. Even then, I lean more towards Buddhist thought and Taoist thought, because that's more of it's not even negative. There's no negative and no positive, and I think that's the way. It's what it's called. It's the way people should go about things, is just seeing things as neither this or that, good or bad, and just living, I don't know, a more flowing life, I guess.
Type shit. What is your favorite dog breed?
I think my favorite dog breed is probably a golden retriever, because I had a beautiful golden retriever when I was a golden retriever and lab, because those are the two that I've grown up with. My two dogs growing up, they were beautiful, amazing dogs. I love them so much. One of them, my golden retriever, passed away.
I'm sorry.
Rest in peace. Oh, dude, it's that's life. Sunshine. Her name was Sunshine. Light of my life. Coco's still kicking. Cheese has not changed. Still a lot of energy. And I think Christian's dog, also named Coco, was a lab as well.
He was he was just a mutt, basically. He was I think his primary thing was a pointer and something called a Vizsla, but I don't fucking know what that means. It's some scientific term that people who really fuck with dogs will understand. But I think my favorite dog at the moment, if I were to get one, is probably the Mexican hairless dog. I think it's called like a Cholo Chuitle. I think.
It's like a crazy Natwali, like old ass Aztec word.
Dude,
but
they're
yeah,
dope as fuck.
they're
I
cool,
love them, dude.
Yeah.
My buddy's dad used to own one. And it was like a small Cholo, whatever. Like it was a small hairless dog, and I remember I'd come over there and he would like jump on my chest and he would look into my eyes. And this is like the dawn of like cartridges. My buddy's dad used to make them, so like he would jump on my chest. I'd be high out of my mind, and I'd be like, "This is a fucking alien," and it was the best thing ever, dude. I love that dog.
I think like that dog is one of the most insanely like historic dogs, because in the Aztec like belief, the god, one of them is a dog, and I'm pretty sure the dog god is the one that takes you to the afterlife, you know?
Yeah.
And
sick.
that dog is like based upon like it's an afterlife guiding dog, you know? So I think like
I love it.
that's what's up, dude.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Anubis. I think that's like the Egyptian god of the dead.
Yeah.
That dude that is like it looks like a dog as well.
He has like, it's kind of like it's like kind of like a Doberman face. He
Yeah.
has is what he has. Yeah.
All right, would you rather, I know we're talking about dogs and dogs could attack, so crazy questions coming
Yeah.
up. Would you rather be attacked by a Great Dane or 100-pound pit bull?
That's my
Great Danes are big.
They're huge. No, my stepdad had a Great Dane. God bless him. His name was Babe. He was, I'd say like a Great Dane, because like he was like like just from my personal experience, like he was like the sweetest dog on the planet, and I imagined he would be the one attacking me. So I'd say like a Great Dane. But I've heard some insane stories about like pit bulls. I know pit bulls are pretty sweet actually, but I'd say a Great Dane just from my experience. I think he would treat me well.
I think like definitely a Great Dane too, because they're big, but they don't have like as much muscle. I could be full of shit, but like 100-pound pit bull, like pit bulls vary so much in size, and like they're dense, and like they have so much muscle, like they will fuck you up. But I feel like a Great Dane, like this is a little gruesome, but you could probably break a leg pretty easily, and then they're like not doing shit afterwards. Like they're probably just, it's fucked up. But it's, listen, if we're I think Great Danes are an easier takedown for sure. Yeah.
What do you guys think about Big Pharma?
Big Pharma,
Fuck Big Pharma.
I think fuck Big Pharma, because definitely like all the shit, I think like all the shit that it's a profitable business, unfortunately, and like there's so many new, like just recently I think, and I'm like not well versed on this at all, so take it with a grain of salt, but like I saw a bunch of things that like the FDA didn't approve MDMA for like therapeutic or just for therapy sessions and shit like that, which is insane, because if you've ever done with mushrooms too, they said it didn't pass clinical trials because like some minor bullshit of like, oh, like I don't know the science. I just know that like if you've done MDMA and you've had a very positive opening experience with it in an open environment where you can like really let shit go, especially mushrooms, like dude, that'll save you like fucking, like that'll save you like the rest of your life of problems. I'm not saying it's a fix all, because you have to work with shit at the end of the day, but like Jesus Christ, like it's better than like putting issues under the rug with SSRIs and making believe that everything's fine, and then they just profit because you have to pay for this through insurance and all these fucking, it's just madness essentially. Like there's so many healthy ways to balance ourselves out as human beings, and it's not, Big Pharma doesn't help. It's too profitable, and it puts too much money. Like the one guy who made the diabetes medicine, like who made insulin, dude, he charges like through the fucking
Insane.
nose with that, and he like laughs about it. He's like, well, I own it, I made it, so fucking I can get as much money. I think his name is Mike something. Fuck that guy. Whoever
Mike
made
something.
insulin,
Fuck
that guy. That guy sucks. I mean, the medicine's cool, the way he's going about it sucks.
Have you ever seen, I don't know, it's kind of like an older story, but have you heard of the, I think it's a medication for depression called Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin, when it first came out, it was started in Canada, and in Canada, when they first started prescribing it to people, a lot of people start to use it as a drug, and they found out that it gives them the same high as crack. What do you think of that?
Ooh.
I've heard rumor that it actually did have, I think, some kind of MDMA, like MDA or some kind of MDMA, like pathogenic compound in it. So I think that's why it did that.
Yeah.
I could be out of my fucking mind, but I think it did have like this uplifting, like phenethylamine in it, from what I heard, from the things I've heard. This is very butchered information from a guy who just like watches professional chemists, so I don't know.
Shit.
Yeah,
Shout out to Hamilton Morris
and Alexander Shulgin.
and Alexander Shulgin. He's the guy who synthesized 2CB.
Oh, beautiful.
Check it out if you guys have never done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. I fucking anything about that. I don't know. What did they do after that?
After that, they figured out ways to make it more calm. I took Wellbutrin for a while as well. And when I took it, it was around the era where they were starting to prescribe it. They started prescribing it to 18 and over, but then they started prescribing it, I think it was like 2020, 2021. They gave it to me and I was only 16 at the time.
Oh, if that's like a thing you're
What I noticed, I felt like low-key AI generated. I would forget where I'm at. I would be at school,
like ones and zeros
doing my
kind of
shit.
feeling?
I'll be at school sitting down doing my shit, and then out of nowhere it's like, where the fuck am I? Who am I? What the fuck? Is anything
Jesus
real?
Christ.
And I just said, fuck that shit. I got off of it and I took shrooms and watched some TV.
Yeah.
And it low-key I watched a show called Sassy the Sasquatch. If you ever...
Big Les.
Big Les and
Big
Sassy the
Les. Shout out
Sasquatch.
to Sassy.
That shit's heat. That shit really opened up my mind and how to look at the world now. So that's how I've been trying to do it. And I do agree with what you said, that nothing is a quick fix. It all comes at the end of the day where you have to be like, this is how it is. At the end of the day, you have to solve it out.
Right.
And I feel like a mushroom experience is more of a stepping stool to show you like, yo, this is how it could be, but you have to put the effort in, because nothing comes from nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Yeah, that's fucking beautiful words. That's like the fucking big problem with like big pharma is the Band-Aid they kind of put on. They think like I don't know, these like weird ass like chemicals with the big ass names, like fucking I don't know, like these antidepressants, whatever the fuck they try to like, especially kids is like the big thing. It's like instead of actually like trying to like teach kids like how to be cool with themselves and how to operate through example and through like real, I think spiritual work and like meditation is a big thing. Like that could help a lot of kids, but instead they're like, no, just give them some drugs and everything's gonna be fine. So it's like, and it's also just a fucking business. It's the big thing. They just want to keep people being sick so they can make more money off of it. Like they're not looking for an actual cure. They're looking for something that'll just keep generating them money.
I see. And just some off the top questions. Dino chicken nuggets or tater tots?
Fucking.
Oh, tater tots, easy. That's for me. I never like fuck. This is just like this might be a controversial opinion. I never like fucked with like chicken tender, like dinosaur ones. Really, ever. I don't know why. They were like, they tasted not that great compared to. They just didn't taste as like good as like regular, chicken nuggets for some reason. But like tater tots, they've always been. I'm always like, that's the thing. I don't have them. Yeah. So I'm always like looking for, if I see like tater tots are being served, I'm like, I want to try them. I need to try them.
Boneless wings or calamari?
Oh, boneless wings, dude. Listen, let me tell you something, man. Calamari, like, dude, every place that makes calamari doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. At least the places I've gone, which is mostly like fast food pizza chains, or like, not fast food, but you gotta go to like an actual place to like have real good calamari, because mostly it's like a rubber band in a fry fucking and batter. It's like they're fucking frying rubber bands and you're trying to eat it and make believe, and it's disgusting. It's fucking gross. But boneless wings, dude, oh my god, bone in, like, it's hard to fuck up a wing. The worst you do is dry it out, but if you're drunk enough, like, it tastes beautiful, and also like fucking throw it in a sauce and who cares, like, it's fucking great. But no, calamari's like, you have to have somebody who actually knows what they're doing, not just some guy who got hired at Giordano's.
Fucking calamari is a delicacy.
It's a delicacy, dude. It's I think it's octopus or squid.
I think it's squid.
Okay, squid. Okay, yeah, it's squid, dude. Yeah. Seafood.
Shell, yeah.
Seafood's I don't this is for Vinny's clams. I don't know anything about it, but like, seafood's a hard thing to make, and I think Vinny's clams probably knows what they're doing. So I don't know. This is a shirt, Vinny's clams.
We got
Vinny's clams.
a cool guy coming up.
We got Eric. Eric,
hold on.
real quick.
You're real cool.
Just for a
I've seen
second.
you.
Eric, for a second.
All right,
We're being interviewed. Like for 1 second, dude. We want to holler at you.
Yeah.
So, Eric,
our buddy-
this is our buddy Eric. He's the coolest guy on the planet.
He's an old philosopher.
He's
somewhat of a
A quick like, like in like the fewest sentences possible. Like, can you tell us exactly what's happening?
What's happening?
Yeah.
Or what will happen?
But what's happening? Anything else? Give us a
What's
few quick
happening?
words.
It's a great time to live with technology.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff. This is the easiest humanity's ever had it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool, cushy life. and you hope that it keeps happening forever, right?
Yeah.
Into your old age, into your 80s and 90s, right?
I like doing the dishes though.
Yeah.
I like mowing my lawn. Maybe I'm like a dad in the works.
But maybe once you get into your 40s or 50s, once you get to be an old timer,
Yeah. I don't
you
want to do that shit
anymore.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Put the robot out there to do the shit.
I've seen this. I've seen the robot lawnmowers. They're insane.
Yeah,
dude.
and right now, what's happening right now, in 20 years, it'll make it look like it's the 1930s.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Eric.
What is right now?
What do you have to say about like the end of, I suppose, like times for us?
Oh, human mass extinction.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right there. In the basic time of humanity. Humanity's been around for this form of humanity. We're the 8th or 9th species of human. We've been here for 250,000 years.
Yeah.
And we're the only species in history, as far as science knows, to create the means of our own extinction.
Oh shit. Well, there we go.
We're pretty strong.
Ladies and
Congratulations, Homo sapiens, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
We're damn good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We're damn powerful.
Oh yeah.
We're good at dying.
Nature's even more powerful.
Yeah.
And, nature's gonna swat us down. We think we can control it?
Yeah.
Nah, fuck no.
Dude, weeds grow through the cracks of the fucking streets that we just paved.
No, man. At my job, 2 weeds grew in the pavement that we put in literally like last year. They're just there. There's no other weeds. They're just there.
Dude.
And
Sunflowers growing through the middle of the interstate. Right?
Yeah.
that would be cool to see.
Yeah, it would be.
I think what's like kind of cool, like not like cool, but I like the things that are happening now are just like a matter of nature and like human nature and just nature in general. It's just a matter of like our own ignorance. It's just a fact of nature, and I don't know. We just don't know what we're doing, despite the fact that we think we do. And it's a fun thing to witness in real time.
And to end this interview off, because we've been going for quite a while now, is there anything you want to say to the people listening to this right now?
Take it slow. Be loving to your friends. Be loving to yourself. Meditate. Take some time every day to just like sit with yourself. Be it like 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Hug your mother.
Yeah, all that. Do all that nice shit. Do all that like just really get to know who you are before you start wilding out, man. And do what you want with life too, like not in an insane Aleister Crowley way, like don't murder people or anything like that, or maybe do, I don't know. Listen,
don't summon demons.
Don't summon demons or anything unless like it's part of your dharma. Listen, I don't make the rules, but we don't make the rules, but
don't do shit.
definitely really find out who you are. Sit with yourself. If you make music, find ways to express yourself and
Make art.
make art, dude. Listen.
You jump up and down, jump up and
For all the
down.
people who know, dude, follow your dreams, dude.
One Piece. Oh,
One
wait,
Piece. Follow your
quick
fucking
shout
dreams,
out,
dude.
quick shout out. Watch One Piece.
Watch One Piece. Quick shout out. You want to follow your fucking dreams, dude? If you want to become the king of the pirates or the best fucking whatever you are and whatever you are.
want, dude. Swordsman.
If you want to be a swordsman, if you want to be a guitarist,
you want to
dude.
steal shit.
You want to
Be the
steal
best person who
shit?
steals
Oh,
shit,
come on, dude.
And that's what Nami does.
Nami steals
Nami's the
shit.
cat
And guess
burglar.
what, dude? And guess what? She's damn good at it, dude, because she followed her dreams. Can you believe that?
Archaeology. What was it?
Navigator. She's also a navigator. She's not just a
no,
burglar.
not
That's
Nami. I'm
fucked.
thinking about Nico Robin.
Yeah.
What's like when you like try to dig up dinosaur bones? What's it called? Archaeology.
Yeah, you were right. You were there.
Be the I was close. Archaeologist. Big fucking shout out to the archaeologist, dude.
Shout out to One Piece. Shout out to Ramda. Shout out to your mother.
Shout out Bolo.
Shout out Bolo.
Shout out Bolo. Big love.
Shout out Eric.
Shout out Eric.
We gotta ask her, what do you have to say to the people watching? Final word.
Final words.
Like Aleister Crowley, one of his famous sayings was how did this go? He ended it was, do what thou wilt.
And that is the
Shall
whole
be
of the law.
shall be the whole of the law.
Yeah.
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Yes.
Love above will. Love above will.
Law.
One Piece. One Piece.
I don't know.
God bless. We are Saba Dog.
We
Thank
are
you.
Saba Dog. Hell yeah.
Stop it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that concludes this
That's the thing.
episode of Riding Around with Bean Fiend. Here's some footage that I captured of people performing for open mic night at Ashbury Coffee House. I would just like to say, if you are ever in Chicago or in the Illinois area or Willow Spring area, I really recommend that you guys check this space out. It's real cool. They have shows on Fridays and Saturdays, open mic nights on Wednesdays, and then on Thursdays they sometimes do like tarot card readings or other little fun things. But this spot is really nice because you get to see all people from all sorts of walks of life, and you get to just meet different people. It's a real big community of just people connecting, and I really think a lot of spaces should have more of this, where people can just meet up with other people and be like, yo, this is what I do, this is my name. And I think that's really cool. So if you have time, always think of it as, if you come to Chicago, check out Ashbury Coffee House, because they're hella cool. And now we're going to be interviewing Eric, the main man. Today I am here with someone very special at the Ashbury Coffee House, someone that people will say a philosopher, a speaker. I would say one of the greatest people of all time, one of the GOATs, and speaks their mind, and that is, who are you?
Eric.
And how long have you been doing what you do?
My whole life, right? No, but here?
Well, in general.
Couple of years. I've had a lot of time to reflect, you know. I've been alive for a while. Like, is it now 71 years? So, you know, seen a lot of shit. Grew up in the 50s and the 60s. 73 was my breakout year. And, yeah, whole different times when your parents and your grandparents tell you, well, when I was a kid, yeah, they were a kid, and you are too, and it was a totally different world. The advancements in the world these days are, I don't know, we advanced 10 years like used to be 500 years. Mm-hmm. Technology's outmoded in, what, year and a half? 18 months?
Yeah. What do you think about, I know back then you grew up during I'm assuming you witnessed what we did in Vietnam. What do you think about that? And do you think it has spiked a big anger as America, a lot of soldiers, because you could see even in the Iraq war, they were very angry and a hateful motive. And I feel like that's how it was in Vietnam when they were committing war crimes just for hatred of the civilians.
Well, that's what the military does. It brainwashes you to believe the people you're killing aren't real people. That's why, you know, you don't call them human beings, you call them racial slurs. That way they're less than human, that way they're easier to kill. And those people that came back, trained killers, had a tough time fitting back in society. I had a friend who said, man, I miss killing people. So, and I got lucky. I was in the last draft, 1972, and it was drawing balls out of like the lottery. Mm-hmm. And the lower numbers, you're fucked.
Yeah.
The first 50 to get picked, you're probably going to, you were definitely getting drafted. The next 50, yeah, you had a chance. Up above that, no, probably no chance at all. I was 265. I fucking lucked out. I didn't, it was either live in Canada or live in Kansas. Leavenworth Prison, federal prison. But luckily, 3 years later, we were done with it. And I credit a protest in the street, the American soldier who refused to go and said, put me in the brig in California. I ain't getting on a fucking plane. That helped out a lot. And the honest news media, who Walter Cronkite for one. You might have heard of him.
I believe I have, yes.
Uncle Walter, he was on the news every night on CBS, and man, you listen to what Walter said, he told the truth. And when he said, it's a lost cause, Vietnam, we're not going to win.
Have you ever heard about the Vietnamese radio host? I forget her name. I think it's Hino Tari. I forget her last name, but she would talk on the radio while the soldiers in Vietnam would be listening. and she has a very powerful speech where she describes the government as GI, like GI Joe, and she's telling them that they're lying to you and that they use you like pawns. Do you think that that kind of speaking can be like dangerous in a way? Do you think that people can come after you for speaking your mind like that?
The truth. And it was done in Japan too. Mata Hari was broadcasting to the U.S. troops, hey, you do what you can to win. Because Vietnamese, their victory over us was as powerful as our victory over Britain in the revolution. Because Vietnamese, they didn't have a navy, they didn't have an air force, they didn't have shit, but they had determination. They fought for 25 years, and they weren't going to quit. We'd have to kill every fucking person in the country. It's same as in Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
Ukrainians, they're tough fucking people. They ain't going to quit.
Still going at it.
Oh fuck yeah!
The president's going at it. I seen video footage of the president with them.
Yeah, Zelensky?
Yeah.
He's a good person to have in that role right now. I don't know what he'd be as a president, in a peaceful country, but he's doing pretty fucking good right now. Unfortunately, we've sunk to the depths.
Do you think that the next war that will break out, it will break out because they touched America's boats? Because that's how we entered World War II when Pearl Harbor happened, when the Japanese attacked us. A lot of people are thinking, and I'm thinking, that if if Iran or Israel somehow get upset and they attack our boats, I feel like that's when we would go to war. What do you think?
Oh, we're already at war.
Yeah.
When Trump authorized the bombing of Iran with United States planes, that's an act of war. Shit. You don't get any more warlike than that. Dropping bombs on their intellectuals and their the scientists and their top generals. I guess you'd say that might be war. Yeah, definitely. We're at war, and it doesn't seem to affect anything here. Fucking stock market just keeps bumping along. And the same thing with humanity. It's one of the what do you call it? The movie The Perfect Storm?
I've heard of this. I remember in school they talked about it briefly.
What's the dude's name? A couple of famous people in there.
Yeah.
All right. Mark Wahlberg. And the lead role. Come on, help me out.
I don't know actors
all right.
like that. I don't really pay attention to who
They were out in the Atlantic Ocean fishing boat, and they got hit with like 3 big major storms coming out of 3 different directions all at once. And we got a lot of shit going on in this world, and enjoy what you got right now, what you're looking at, what you have, technology you have, what you're doing, because I think in your lifetime, shit's gonna be quite different.
I was thinking about that earlier. I was in my room when I heard about the whole Trump enforcing more ICE and them sending like more reinforcement, like military type ICE agents to Illinois. It made me think, this is gonna be my reality, and the only way I can stop this from being my reality is if I do something about it. That's what I think. And hearing you speak, it made me want to do more of that and speak what I have to say, because I truly believe we are all human beings. We bleed, we poop, we are all the same. Why are we fighting for what? I don't get it. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense
Doesn't make sense at all.
And when you talk about what's the most amount of killing that's happened in human history is because...
Was it the Armenian? A lot of people say that one.
One person's God disagrees with the other person's God. And you're killing in the name of God. Isn't that fucking stupid? It doesn't matter what you think God is or where you think God is. It's all opinion. Nobody has it right and nobody has it wrong. Could be. Like I was talking to somebody before. That fucking rock over there, that could be God.
Who knows?
If you say it is, I said maybe.
Maybe.
I don't believe that, but maybe.
You never
think what
know.
you want to think what you want. If that makes you happy, if that floats your boat, what the fuck? Who am I to say anything different?
What do you think about the United States in the 80s pushing crack out to more low-income areas and creating, well, addicts out in the street? What do you think about that? Do you think that is just a way how America will find more funding in the drug market, or do you think that was a way of them to kind of more of like keep them like cattle in an area?
Oh, we've done a number of fucked up things along the line. Yeah, that was to arm the Contras so Reagan could send the profits over to Iran to keep his promise when he kept the hostages held to beat Jimmy Carter.
Yes.
Yeah, we've done a lot of fucked up things in this world, and well, it's a way to keep the riffraff fighting amongst each other and not go after who's really to blame. And hey, you want to keep black people started getting serious about having some control. They had to knock them down a peg. Hell, you know, kill the Black Panthers in the '60s, and hey, we can make you all drug addicts, and yeah,
It's kind of like with gangs. I know a lot of gangs, they start off as a movement like that to keep the community in check. Like Larry Hoover and King David are from Chicago, and they started like a movement like that, the GDs and the BDs. But then it turned into a violent movement. Do you think that all communities, somewhat, if there's something that happens or anger strikes, do you think that it can always be bad, or do you think that there can be a way to make it always stay positive?
Oh, yeah, always make it positive. Because gangs are kind of community. They're community. Why do people join gangs?
As a way of family bond.
Yeah, family.
I see that.
Yeah, and this place is no different. You get a lot of outcasts here who come in, and they can feel comfortable being themselves here. And it's a community. Community is going to be very necessary in my bleak vision of the future. Community is real necessary. You can't make it on your own.
You cannot. You always need people along the way. It takes a village to raise somebody. It takes people.
A village to raise a child. Hillary Clinton wrote that book in the 90s. Yeah,
I never knew that.
She got trashed for it, but it is absolutely a true statement. I've never read it, but
No.
I don't read real well.
Reading's hard, I would say. It's weird.
Yeah.
The English language is very interesting.
It's where TV helps. YouTube helps immensely. I can be read to.
I heard that you biked across America. How was that? What did you see?
Well, a lot of myself, especially the long trip from California to here, 2,600 miles in 7 weeks. And I pushed myself too hard. I learned that, don't be in a fucking hurry. Enjoy it. Slow down. And I didn't, but I learned that along the way. Very painful lesson,
Yeah.
I was, a couple weeks in, I was icing my knees every night. Ooh, ache. But the one thing, and how to do anything hard, is to say, oh, well, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to try to do it. I'm going to do it. I met this guy and in a month I'm riding this ride in Iowa. It's a ride from the West Iowa to East Iowa. And this year it's only 400 miles. First time I did it was 500 in 7 days. And I met this guy. He's 78 years old. He had cancer. And he said, I didn't come here to try to do this. I came here to do this. Fuck.
That's some real stuff right there.
Yeah, but I never thought, all along the way, all the troubles I had, I never thought that I wouldn't do it. Yeah, and it's something I always wanted to do, and I should have been doing this 40 years ago. But I'm in enough shape now that I can still do it. And I'll do it until I can't. And I hope I realize when I can't.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. Like, climbing up on the roof and shit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. I might still, but
do you
be
think?
more careful.
Have you ever seen the movie Fight Club?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that there will ever be a movement like in Project Mayhem in that movie where the main character's like inner self created this thing where they wanted to just destroy everything? Do you ever think there'll be something like that?
The dark side, the Brad Pitt side.
Yeah, the Project Mayhem where they were like going to the major banks and blowing them up and like breaking down stuff in the city and like hurting the government and the cops and making like them pay a lot of money for stuff. They were basically ruining the economy. Do you ever think
I don't think that'll happen until everything really takes a shit.
Yeah.
And when civilization collapses, man, as cities, you want to be as far away from that fucking place as you can, because it's going to be a battle. These people don't know anything. They know violence. And I said that to somebody, and they said, well, you know, the biggest gang's going to win. I said, who's that? I said, that's cops.
Yeah.
They got the most weapons. They're going to win.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And people who want to do that, do that. You know, if you want violence, go ahead, get in the city. If you want to live, stay out here and learn. Adaptation is the key. And we think we've only lived like this for a century. We didn't have electricity 150 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and we think it's going to last forever, and we're trading on all of this with finite resources. You know what finite means?
Finite, man, that's a hard word. I've heard of it, but I never understood what it means.
Infinite is forever.
Infinite.
Finite has an end.
Okay.
This has an end.
Everything here you're saying has.
Well, natural resources, especially.
But nature will always be there.
You know what the phrase is, nature? I don't know. You know baseball at all?
Baseball, I know a little bit of it.
All right. You know it's best to bat last, right?
Well, yes, because then you would have like a chance of hitting it.
All right. Nature bats last. And nature bats 1,000. Which 1,000 is, if you don't know about baseball, is you get a hit every time. You can't lose. Nature doesn't lose. We've tried to tame nature.
But we cannot.
We can for a time. But it's going to kick our ass. And it's like, all right, when we get internally, we have all these germs and viruses in us all the time.
Yeah.
You can't zero them out. All right? But when they get too much, what happens?
You get sick.
Yeah, you get a fever, you burn them off, right? Earth, as a living organism, is getting sick because of us, us viruses, and it's getting a temperature, it's getting sick, and it's going to get rid of us.
I saw that when I was in Mexico. When I was over there, I was thinking about light pollution. Over here, I barely see the stars, and it makes me sad because when I go in Mexico, my family lives in a very like small part that's just fields and stuff, and there's stars, and it makes me think like, dang, we are killing our planet. We're getting rid of it.
No. The planet's going to be fine. The planet's going to be better off without us.
Better off without us. So you think we're
It's
the
been through
monsters?
worse. It's been through worse. We had the Permian mass extinction, which took 95% of the life off the planet. Hopefully it won't be that bad this time.
Hopefully.
But, you know, there will be some organisms that survive that will create higher and higher life as we go along. And then, hey, last extinction was 65 million years ago, and here we are.
Yeah.
You know, it only took, 30, 40 million years
Yeah. To become like
to
this.
get larger life available. But the more important thing is that this isn't all there is.
No, there's something out there.
Now, if you're an atheist, I feel sorry for them. But you know, they want to believe that. Fine.
That to each their own.
But we're all. What powers us is the energy that powers us, right? Which is the all in all. Which is what can and you. Well, who is it? Physics says you can't kill energy. You can
Physics
just transform it.
You can transform it. Yes, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
So this energy will not die ever. It will just transform into something else. This body will die.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But your energy never does. And that's why the advent of psychedelics and spirituality, which opened up spirituality. It'll to say, don't be afraid. You're going to live forever.
What do you think about
live now?
That is true. What do you think about MK Ultra?
MK Ultra. What?
That one is like the experiment. I think it was in the 60s where the United States government was giving soldiers LSD to see how they would perform. And
in the 50s, yeah.
In the 50s, sorry.
That's fucked up. Give somebody acid and not tell them.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Even to somebody that's done acid, you don't want to do that shit.
Not knowing,
That's not cool at all. I don't know. You've done acid?
Yeah. I've known every time. But I feel like if I didn't, I would be freaking the fuck out. I'm over here.
Well, and you would have, and you'd know what the feeling is.
Yeah.
And you'd still freak out.
Yeah, because it's like.
But how about if you didn't fucking know? God damn. That's acids. You can be a fucking raging alcoholic, and acid's gonna freak you out.
It's like Richard Ramirez. When they did like the whole study of like why he did what he did, they found out that he was a big acid head and he murdered a bunch of women. He murdered them and raped them. I could turn.
He went into a real dark place on his trips.
Yeah, on his trips he became insane.
Think of this: nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Developed in the mid 40s.
Okay.
43 or so, where they finally got their shit together to have it. A number of them could end life on the planet here.
Yeah.
Right. At the same time that was being developed, Albert Hofmann is in Switzerland synthesizing LSD and taking the first trip.
Yeah.
In 1943.
Yeah. Going on the bike.
Bicycle Day, April 19th.
Yeah.
Is there a connection there?
A connection to April 19th?
Nuclear weapons that destroy the planet. All right.
Yeah.
So now we know that that life on Earth, well, not the planet, but life on Earth can be destroyed by a weapon. So the equal and opposite reaction is to let people know that this isn't all it's cracked up to be, and if you all die, which you will, anyway, no matter what happens, that there is more than here. So live your life here. This is nothing just to hang on to tight. It's to live full out and enjoy. And I know it's tough for. I get Social Security check, not a check, into my bank account every month. So it's easy for me to say, yeah, do what the fuck I want. I don't have to work or anything like that. Well, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I put in my time. I'm done. But I'm ready to hit the road. The house where I live in, we're going to sell it, and got a 25-foot RV that we can drive around and live in.
That's cool.
And I can, if things really go to shit here, I got my passport. I can go to Canada. First time Trump was elected in 16. I had to go to work the next day, so I went to sleep early, and I didn't know the election results until I got up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I looked at that, and I said, fuck, I get a bit of passport. First thing in my mind.
Better get a passport.
In case I got to escape this place, in case I got to get out of here. But I'd like to think I'd like to stay and join the fight, because it's going to be a tremendous one.
Yeah. And that concludes this episode of Riding Around with Bean Fiend.